Alright, hello everybody. We're here with map 4 of the Optic LA versus Atlanta FaZe, the final map of the Florida Mutineers home series. Atlanta FaZe does end up winning, spoiler alert, but let's see what happens in this game. Because I heard it was kind of spicy. So we have Optic LA spawning toward they've got a good spawn for P2. Here's P1. So Optic's going to want to keep this spawn. Atlanta FaZe has overall been the better team from the last game that I saw in this series, and their teamwork has been much better. So I'm assuming whatever push Atlanta FaZe has, they're gonna probably try and get. They're gonna have control of this hill and probably attempt to push through either through here and take control of the pool hall, go into this P2, or through mid map, through restaurant, or down the street. I don't know what they're gonna do, but they're probably gonna do one of those and have some push to attempt to get spawns towards P2, and I think that's gonna be the main focus. I don't think they're gonna want to send too much pressure here. I said they'll probably have control here, but I don't think they're gonna actually have that much pressure at this first hill. But we'll see how this plays out. I was just a little prediction. But it looks like they're sending bodies towards this, whatever the hell this building's called. I don't know. I don't really know very many callouts other than, I know like 3 of them on this map. But Optic LA has control of this hill. It looks like they read the push that Atlanta was trying to do. They read that Atlanta really wanted to push right through whatever the hell this building's called and funnel into the hill from here or from the map. And they shut that down instantly. Slasher going to be able to get this kill on number 6 now. So number 6, Major Maniac, is able to get through into restaurant. So this is going to be huge wherever number 6 ends up. But Atlanta FaZe are starting to win fights in the hill. And now Atlanta FaZe has control. And number 6, did he stay alive? No, he didn't end up staying alive, but his positioning caused number 9 Priest to spawn up here, which in turn caused Major Maniac to spawn up towards restaurant. Let's see, did he actually? Yes, so number 6 and 9 spawned up towards restaurant because of this pressure that Major Maniac was exerting towards the restaurant. So this allows number 9 Priest to look for his flip. Major Maniac can sit up towards top restaurant, potentially go into blue, and look towards the new hill, but Dashy's back here and gets a 2-piece. And there's that push was completely denied from Dashy and TJ. So good on them to win their fights over there. So Optic LA still has spawns, still have control. The game is relatively tied, but Optic LA's in a good spot. But FaZe has a good push going here. They have 1 body on the long street, 2 coming from blue, 3 coming from blue, sorry, I didn't see this guy, and 1 going through pool hall. There's nobody on this entire side of the map, so it's going to be interesting to see where the spawns lead. Because Atlanta FaZe has control of this side. Optic only has control of here. I'm assuming we might see a spawn back here, here, or here for any of the Optic members, because yeah, but I don't know if any kills happened recently. So yeah, BZ killed TJ and Kenny. So let's see where they both spawn. So yeah, they still spawned here. This is going to be interesting because if Atlanta FaZe can push through this building, then that would cause a spawn flip, which they want right now. But it looks like they're not going to win their fights. Optic's going to win their fights here. That's good for them. We got 3 members of FaZe pushed up to that building I just had circled. So if they're able to at least win if they can win a few of their fights, then they can force a spawn flip. But if so, they would do that with 30 seconds left, and I don't know if they entirely want Optic to spawn back here, because that's where P3 is. P3 is right here. I can't draw to save my life, but P3 is right there. And I don't know if Optic is... I don't know if FaZe is going to want to flip the spawns and have themselves spawn here and Optic spawn out here when they would just be giving up New Hill. So let's see what they pretend. Let's see what they decide to do. They have Priesta still kind of pushing here, just at least making this hill scrappy, and the rest of the bodies still pushing here. I think Atlanta should be moving away from here. I don't think they should keep pushing here. It's depending on where. So they're still spawning up here. Yeah, numbers 0, 8, and 9 instantly turned around to run towards New Hill. Number 7 spawned in Hazmat, so this is still a net positive for them because Optic didn't send any bodies through P1 to rotate. So Atlanta has a really good hook. They've got a lot of control here. And they have a free 10 to 15 seconds of hill time before anybody from Optic can touch it. Because of this. Because of how far away these hills are. So they can just chill. They can just chill here. But Optic sent all of their members up. They sent 3 members up, 4 members actually, sorry, up the long street here, and 1 member into this tunnel. The guy in the tunnel died, that was Dashy. However, 2 bodies are successfully up the street. Another one's in top hazmat, and number 3 is going into restaurant. So this could be a good break from Optic if they were able to win their fights. Slasher kills Major Maniac. Where is that? Where is Slasher? He's number 4. So Slasher killed Major Maniac, who's chilling all the way in the back. This looks like a break for Optic. However, Priesta got 2, and Simp got another, and Abizi got another. So Priesta, Simp, and Abizi doing the things. Simp was able to kill whoever TJ around the restaurant area, and Priesta and Abizi got 3 of them combined. So they've now got control, and they've got another 10 to 15 seconds of free hill time before anybody from Optic gets there. And it looks like Optic are they're gonna send 2 of them towards it to maybe make like some scrappiness happen. Which they end up making it extremely scrappy, but they've got bodies towards Pool Hall, which is the 3rd hill. They've got 3 and 4. Number 7 is able to clean up number 4, but number 3, TJ, is able to kill Celium. But FaZe is first one here. They've got the first body in the hill. The Simp, but he's in a 2v1. And he ends up trading 1 for 1, so that's pretty big. But FaZe didn't send enough bodies. They were still spawning back at P3, and their pushes were just denied. Really. Let's see how some of these pushes went. They just kept getting killed, it looked like. Yeah, they just kept trading and had an unfavorable spawn, which led Optic to have a lot of control here. And like what I said with P3, Optic now has a good, arguably closer to 20 seconds of free heal time. So they've got a really good spot here to crack open a huge lead. However, there's 4 kills in the feed. How does this happen? So I think the big focus here is going to be towards restaurant. Simp kills Kenny earlier. Priesta ends up killing Chino. Celium, what number are you? Number 7. Ends up killing Dashy at P1. So we have a very nice, like a full 3-lane push here. We've got 3 bodies on this long street, 1 in the middle, 1 from P1. Every lane is covered for Atlanta FaZe right now. Major Maniac ends up killing Kenny. This Optic only had 1 body watching this long street, and Atlanta FaZe sent 3 people to run up it. Now Atlanta FaZe is going all the way around. I like this, because they probably know that Optic is still spawning here. But Major Maniac is able to get another kill from wherever Kenny was. I think Kenny might have been on top of the pool hall. But Simp ends up killing Slasher. Where's Simp? I don't remember the numbers entirely, but he's in the hill now. Simp gets 2 in the hill, and that's that. Chino gets a huge 2-piece, just cutting off this long street push, but Atlanta FaZe is in the hill. They've got 2 bodies in the hill, it looks like now. Smoke grenades down. So this is going to be a tough break for Optic to get back in. I don't think they're really going to even try, to be honest. So all these trades are happening in the favor of Atlanta, but TJ and the TJ Dashy Slasher Chino. Oh, they just threw bodies at the hill and it worked. They can get the last 10 seconds. And it looks like Optic is in the new hill too. Yep. Simp just yeeted himself right through there. That's something. But this is going to be a pretty scrappy. So far, this game has just been very scrappy. Teams having control, losing control. Just been a good game of Hardpoint, to be honest. Rotations haven't been on point for either team, it looks like. Except for Optic from the P4 to 5, from Pool Hall to the bottom restaurant. Optic had a good rotation there. And they had a good, decent hold at the start, but it's just been very contested for a long time, and that's why the game's been even. And it looks like, yeah, Atlanta FaZe is able to simp and Abizi, able to clean up 4. And yeah, so looks like Optic's just saying, screw that, we're gonna rotate. We're spawning on the new hill. Just gonna stay here. And yeah, Slasher did get cleaned up. He was able to get 1 onto Abizi, gets cleaned up by Major Maniac. Chino ends up cleaning up Major Maniac. And Simp, nice 2-piece from him. But Optic is in control of the hill. They had question mark on the spawns, if they have spawns from the next hill. It's like Slasher's gonna get shot in the back here by Priesta. That's tragic. But Optic still has good spawns for P2. That's a disgusting kill. Holy shit. But Priesta ends up getting killed, and Optic has a good spawn for the next hill. However, they're not getting much time on this hill. So this is a trade-off. Do you want to keep sending bodies here to potentially make this hill scrappy? Or get some points off it? Or do you want to just lock down this rotation? It looks like they want to make this scrappy. But we have number 0, that's Beezy, running through blue, ends up getting 1 kill. Knows there's more bodies in the back somewhere. So he can sit up here and chill. He gets 1. Where's the rest of Optic dying at? Pool Hall? Yeah, so the rest of Optic was dying at Pool Hall. And this is just all Atlanta FaZe right now for the kills, like. But Optic still has spawns. So this is the same position we were in at the first rotation at P2. Atlanta FaZe has bodies up here, Pool Hall blue, and this long street. But we're gonna have to see how they handle this, if they can take control. They've got control of Pool Hall, they've got control of the street. Optic's still spawning here though, so they're still spawning deep here. But it looks like 3 kills going the way of Optic. 4, and there's just lots of trades, but Priesta gets a huge 3. So in the end, Atlanta FaZe can just break right through the middle of the hill. But Optic still spawned here. Optic still spawned at back Pool Hall. Which, as of right now, is not favorable anymore. Optic would prefer to start rotating, but they're still spawning back Pool Hall, so this is great from FaZe. Optic's still spawning back Pool Hall, and you've got a body and a Simp going to the next hill. I would prefer if Simp had another person back here with him by now. Looks like 0 and 7 are booking it over to take control of Hazmat. It looks like they have control of it right now. Number 0, a BZ, should have a couple kills maybe. He has 1, and then he gets traded. So let's see what happens here. But as I said earlier, 10 to 15 seconds of time uncontested for Atlanta, just because they had a rotation to this hill. So Abizi gets 3 plus his teammate. So how did the Beezy get this? What number is he? Abizi's number 0. I can't see him on the menu. I'm assuming he's in this clusterfuck. Yeah, he is. So he's in that clusterfuck and gets huge kills. And just shuts down that entire push. So there's 30 seconds left, and Optic is in a position where if they don't push this hill, that's an instant 30 seconds, and Atlanta FaZe would have 215 points, which you don't want them to be in that position, but that's the position they're going to be in. So Optic's saying, alright, let's rotate. Let's just hope, then pray that they can get a full 60 and make this game tied. And Atlanta FaZe knows that they're pushing Optic to this position, that the Optic can't afford to lose their pressure towards this hill. They need a full 60 to get back into this game, to get this game tied again. So let's see how they hold this. They have bodies in Pool Hall, Blue, and one body, number 5, Slasher, watching this long street. Slasher is able to pick up a kill, and same with Dashy. Dashy ends up being traded out wherever he was. Dashy was on the long street. He gets traded out. But they had Chino watching his cross from Blue, and Chino ends up trading. Which is a positive for Optic because they're spawning at Pool Hall still. We have number 9 in top Blue, and then 4 bodies pushing Pool Hall. TJ's gonna get overwhelmed here if these 3 just run in. And there might be a team kill in the process, but TJ's gonna be overwhelmed no matter what happens. And Priesta ends up getting a 2-piece. Where is he? He's number 9. He's in Blue. He gets a kill on Slasher, wherever that was, and then he gets another kill in Blue. So Priesta's got control of Blue. TJ ends up getting 1, but Atlanta FaZe just sent their bodies towards the hill, and now they got control of it. Yep, Atlanta broke through. That's tragic for Simp, but TJ gets 2 with the nade. This is just extremely scrappy right now. But Atlanta FaZe, in the end, has the control. They're gonna be 245, so they'll be 5 seconds from winning. Optic get 10 seconds off that hill, but they're at the new hill. As I said, first time, then the first rotation, they had a good P4 to P5, Pool Hall to Restaurant rotation. And again, they've got a good rotation here, so let's see if they can hold it this time. But we have FaZe stacking their 5 bodies towards these 2 entrances. They're going to be stacking 5 bodies here and here, which could be massive. That could be a very big break for them, but Kenny was over here too. Ends up getting 1. They end up trading 2 for 2. Optic still has control of the hill. And they flooded through these doors. 3 of them through the side door, 1 through the back door. And we get trades and trades. 3 down for Atlanta. But that means FaZe is 2 seconds away from winning. So this is a big question mark for Optic. They need to rotate to the next hill because 2 seconds and then Atlanta FaZe wins. But they also need to keep holding on because Atlanta FaZe could have somebody sneak in and grab the last 2 seconds and just end the game. Which Simp is in a position to do that, but he's sliding out here into 2 people, so he's not going to die. He's going to be dead. But now, Atlanta FaZe is rotating because they know, alright, we just need 2 seconds. Let's just hold here. But number 7, Celium, is in a fight at the hill with number 4, and Celium's able to kill Slasher. So, Optic kept 1 body at this hill with 5 seconds left. It sucks when you're in this position because there's not much that you can do, but yeah. Slasher, if Slasher won that fight, this game could have been very different, but Slasher ended up losing the fight. But yeah, number 7, Simp, Celium, and ended up walking in and cleaning up that kill. Let me go back to the scoreboard. Alright, so scoreboard happens, 232 to 250. Yeah, let's take a look at these scores. Well, actually, overall, the game was pretty even. It wasn't pretty even, it was more or less Atlanta FaZe having control for, I'd say, 55% of the time. Optic having control like 45% of the time. Optic's main control was the Pool Hall to Restaurant. They had a great rotation, and the first like rotation of hills, they had great holds there. Atlanta FaZe, however, had a great P1, 2, and 3. They had a great rotation to here, to here, to here. And were able to really stay in the lead from that. And I think for the side of Optic, the rotations they had a good spawn off the start, and they ended up losing it by the time P3 was happening, and there was probably a total of 45 seconds worth of time for both both of the rotations to P2. I mean to P3 that Optic did not have. If Optic had this spawn back here, then FaZe wouldn't have gotten a basically free 30 to 45 seconds of time of them just being here because they had the rotation, and Optic had to run all the way from P2 up the street into P3 while cleaning up fights. So it sucks, but yeah. So, scoreboard, kills-wise, everybody and 4 of the Optic members have basically a minute in the hill. Chino, Kenny, TJ, and Slasher. I'm assuming Kenny doesn't want to be having hill time. Dashy didn't have much hill time. I would assume if the game went the way Optic wanted it to go, Kenny would have about the same time as Dashy, and Slasher and Chino would probably have more. But obviously that didn't happen that way. I think it would be similar to how Atlanta FaZe's scorelines are. They have Celium with 2 minutes in the hill. Major Maniac and Priesta didn't really have any time in the hill. That's probably how Kenny and Slasher wanted to play as well. But they just weren't able to do that. Simp kind of had free reign to do whatever he wanted on the map. Because of the pressure from hills from P1, 2 to 3. Simp could just roam and do what he wanted to, with the occasional hopping in the hill, especially around with the pool hall and restaurant hills. So yeah, ending thoughts. Atlanta FaZe just seemed like the better team for these last 2 games in the series. I didn't feel like watching the first 2 because Azir Cave and Arklov Peak are not the maps that I want to be reviewing VODs of, because fuck those maps. Honestly, they're boring as hell to watch. So yeah, thank you all for watching. If you like this, give it a like, subscribe if you want to, and yeah, have a nice day.